Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the constant pressure to be perfect, stay busy, or meet everyone's expectations? Or maybe you've caught yourself overthinking decisions, holding on to the past, or fearing change. In this video, we'll explore 12 powerful lessons that can transform the way you approach life as you let go of unnecessary stress and embrace what truly matters. Stay with us until the end to discover practical insights that will help you find more peace, joy, and fulfillment in your everyday life. These lessons could be the key to unlocking a simpler, happier, and more meaningful existence. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Worrying about the small stuff. As we grow older, life offers us the gift of perspective, a clearer view of what truly matters. With time, we begin to see how much energy we wasted worrying about things that, in hindsight, were insignificant. The small stuff, the daily annoyances, minor inconveniences, and trivial issues, often consumed far more attention than they deserved. Whether it was a frustrating interaction at work, a long line at the grocery store, or a missed deadline, these situations once seemed monumental. However, as we age, we gain the wisdom to understand that these fleeting moments have little impact on the broader journey of our lives. This shift in perspective doesn't mean we stop caring or lose our drive. Instead, it reflects a deeper understanding of where our energy is best spent. We begin to prioritize what truly contributes to our happiness and well-being, nurturing meaningful relationships, maintaining our health, and cultivating inner peace. By choosing not to dwell on the small stuff, we give ourselves the freedom to focus on what enriches our lives. Letting go of unnecessary worries also means embracing a mindset of forgiveness, both toward others and ourselves. It's about recognizing that mistakes, imperfections, and setbacks are natural parts of life. By forgiving and moving on, we lighten our emotional load and make room for joy and growth. Some might call this being lazy with our worries, but it's a sign of emotional maturity. It's the ability to differentiate between what demands our attention and what can simply be let go. This practice not only preserves our mental and emotional energy but also helps us maintain a sense of balance and clarity. Ultimately, worrying less about the small stuff is about finding peace in the chaos of life. It's about knowing that while we can't control every aspect of our day-to-day experiences, we can control how we respond. This approach allows us to face life with grace, focusing on the things that truly matter and letting the rest fade into the background. It's not just a strategy for a calmer life. It's a pathway to a richer, more fulfilling existence. 2. Chasing perfection. Perfectionism is a relentless pursuit that often consumes vast amounts of our time, energy, and emotional bandwidth. It can feel like an endless climb toward an unreachable peak, leaving us exhausted and dissatisfied, no matter how much we achieve. In our younger years, we may be driven by the belief that perfection is the key to happiness and success, striving to create an ideal version of ourselves, our homes, our careers, and even our relationships. Yet, as we grow older and gain wisdom through life's trials and triumphs, we begin to understand that perfection is not only unattainable but also unnecessary. There is profound beauty in imperfection. The scuffed floorboards of a well-loved home, the laugh lines etched into our faces, and the quirks and complexities of our relationships are all markers of a life fully lived. These so-called flaws are not failures. They are evidence of resilience, growth, and authenticity. When we stop chasing an impossible standard of flawlessness, we allow ourselves to experience life as it truly is: messy, unpredictable, and gloriously real. Learning to embrace imperfection requires a shift in perspective. Instead of focusing on what is lacking, we begin to notice the richness of what is present. Our homes may not resemble the polished images in magazines, but they are filled with memories and warmth. Our bodies may carry scars and signs of aging, but they tell stories of endurance and strength. Our relationships may not always be smooth or easy, but their depth and connection make them meaningful and irreplaceable. Letting go of the pursuit of perfection is not about settling or giving up. It is about creating space for what truly matters. It is about trading stress and self-criticism for joy, gratitude, and self-acceptance. When we stop holding ourselves and others to impossible standards, we open the door to deeper connections, greater creativity, and a more profound sense of inner peace. We begin to realize that life's imperfections are not obstacles to overcome but treasures to be celebrated. Embracing the messiness of life can be a liberating and transformative experience. It allows us to live more authentically, free from the fear of judgment or failure. Instead of spending our days striving to fix what we perceive as broken, we can invest our energy in nurturing what we love, discovering new passions, and savoring the simple pleasures of the present moment. In the end, the pursuit of perfection pales in comparison to the joy of imperfection. It is in the cracks and crevices, the surprises and mistakes, that life reveals its true beauty. By letting go of the need to have it all figured out, we create room for growth, spontaneity, and the kind of happiness that comes not from being perfect but from being perfectly human. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 3. Keeping up with trends. There was a time when staying on top of the latest fashion, technology, or cultural trends seemed almost like an unwritten rule. In our younger years, it often felt like we had to constantly be aware of the newest gadgets, the most fashionable outfits, and the hottest music or social media trends just to feel connected to the world around us. There was a sense of pressure to fit in, to keep pace with ever-evolving tastes and technologies. We may have spent a lot of time, energy, and money trying to stay relevant in an age where everything seemed to change by the minute. We often felt the weight of this expectation, thinking that keeping up was a reflection of our worth or social standing. However, as the years pass and our priorities shift, the intense need to stay on the cutting edge starts to lose its grip. The constant chase to stay ahead of trends begins to feel exhausting, and gradually, we realize that being up to date isn't as important as it once seemed. Our focus shifts from trying to impress others with our knowledge of the latest trends to seeking more meaningful experiences and connections. We come to understand that true fulfillment doesn't come from the fleeting satisfaction of new trends, but from deeper, more lasting joys. As we age, the pressure to stay trendy diminishes, and with it, a sense of freedom emerges. We begin to embrace what feels authentic and comfortable. Whether it's a well-worn sweater that holds memories of moments spent with loved ones, or a favorite old movie that brings peace, we start to cherish the familiar. Letting go of the relentless pursuit of what's in vogue allows us to rediscover the beauty and simplicity in things that have stood the test of time. Instead of trying to conform to external expectations, we begin to enjoy the process of personal expression. Whether it's through our style, the books we choose to read, the music we listen to, or the activities we enjoy. This shift leads to a profound sense of contentment. We no longer feel the need to measure our worth by the ever-changing standards set by the world around us. Instead, we cultivate a sense of self that is based on our values, preferences, and experiences. Our unique style, shaped by years of life, becomes something far more satisfying than trying to mimic the latest fad. In this space of acceptance, we find that we are not just keeping up with trends, but are instead creating our version of what it means to live fully, authentically, and joyfully. 4. Being always busy. In the fast-paced world we live in, it's all too easy to find ourselves caught in the whirlwind of endless tasks and obligations. From work commitments to social events, family responsibilities to personal goals, the demands never seem to stop. It's almost as if the constant rush becomes a badge of honor, something to be proud of. However, as time passes and we experience more of life, we begin to recognize that this relentless cycle of busyness may not be the key to happiness or fulfillment. As we grow older, we start to truly grasp the importance of rest, not as luxuries, but as necessities for our well-being. We realize that true peace isn't found in constant activity but in quiet moments of stillness. Taking time to pause, breathe, and reflect becomes more than just a break from the chaos. It's an essential practice that allows us to reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. Learning to embrace what might initially seem like laziness, the act of stepping back from overscheduling ourselves, becomes an intentional choice. We begin to savor these moments of stillness, knowing that they hold the potential to bring clarity and perspective. It's in these quiet interludes that we rediscover our inner peace, and often, this space allows our creativity, energy, and enthusiasm to return with renewed vigor. Equally important is the ability to say no without guilt. In the past, we may have felt compelled to take on every opportunity or responsibility, fearing that turning something down might disappoint others or cause us to miss out. However, as we grow in wisdom, we learn that saying no is not an act of selfishness but a powerful way to protect our time, energy, and emotional health. We begin to understand that our well-being is just as important as the needs of others, and sometimes taking a step back is exactly what we need to be the best version of ourselves. In choosing to prioritize time for ourselves, whether through hobbies, relaxation, or simply doing nothing, we foster a greater sense of mental and emotional well-being. These moments of self-care not only replenish us physically but also help us build resilience in the face of life's challenges. In learning to slow down and prioritize rest, we are better able to engage with life fully, savoring each experience with a sense of mindfulness and gratitude. Ultimately, it's not about doing more but about being present in each moment, allowing ourselves the time and space to truly enjoy the richness of life. 5. Overthinking decisions. When we were younger, making decisions often felt like a daunting task, one filled with endless second-guessing and overthinking. Each choice seemed monumental, and the fear of making the wrong decision often paralyzed us, leaving us stuck in a cycle of doubt and hesitation. We worried about the consequences, the what-ifs, and the potential regret that might follow. Every decision, no matter how small, was weighed against countless possibilities, and often we would go back and forth, trying to anticipate every possible outcome. However, as we age and gain more life experience, something shifts within us. We start to become more confident in our choices. The wisdom we have gathered over the years teaches us that not every decision needs to be perfect. We learn to trust our intuition more and recognize that our past experiences have equipped us with a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We realize that the pressure to make flawless decisions is often unnecessary, and we allow ourselves the grace to make mistakes, knowing that they are part of the growth process. This shift in perspective helps us embrace a kind of laziness in overanalyzing. No longer do we feel the need to dissect every option to its core or run every scenario through our minds in search of the perfect outcome. Instead, we permit ourselves to enjoy the process of making choices, free from the burden of regret or indecision. We know that sometimes the best decision is the one that feels right in the moment, even if it doesn't come with guaranteed success or certainty. With this newfound ease in decision-making, we begin to experience a greater sense of peace. The constant mental chatter that once plagued our minds starts to fade away, replaced by a quiet confidence in our ability to navigate life's twists and turns. We understand that life isn't about making flawless decisions, but about learning, adapting, and moving forward with faith in our judgment. This approach allows us to feel more at ease with our choices, knowing that, regardless of the outcome, we can trust ourselves and our instincts. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 6. Trying to please everyone. One of the most profound and freeing realizations that often comes with age is the understanding that it is simply impossible to please everyone. No matter how hard we try, there will always be people with different opinions, expectations, and desires. Each person views the world through their unique lens, shaped by their experiences, values, and personal biases. This means that no matter how much effort we put into meeting others' expectations, we cannot control their perceptions or satisfy every demand placed upon us. And, remarkably, that's okay. Trying to meet the expectations of everyone around us can become not just exhausting but ultimately detrimental to our well-being. It can drain us mentally, emotionally, and even physically as we twist ourselves into pretzels, trying to be everything to everyone. The energy spent on this pursuit often leaves us feeling hollow and disconnected from our true selves, as we lose sight of what we need, want, and believe. By embracing the idea of being lazy in our efforts to seek external approval, we allow ourselves the space to live more authentically. We give ourselves permission to step back and reflect on what truly brings us joy and fulfillment, instead of constantly chasing the fleeting validation of others. This shift in mindset is liberating. It frees us from the constant cycle of comparison and judgment, enabling us to prioritize our happiness and well-being without guilt or shame. Living authentically means understanding that we do not need to conform to every societal expectation, family tradition, or peer pressure. It is about carving out a life that aligns with our values and desires, and understanding that others may not always understand or approve of our choices, and that's perfectly acceptable. The more we stop worrying about what others think, the more we embrace our individuality, flaws and all. The result is a life lived more fully, with a sense of peace that comes from knowing that we are enough just as we are. This newfound freedom allows us to focus on what truly matters: our passions, our relationships, our health, and our personal growth. In letting go of the need to please everyone, We unlock a deeper sense of self-worth, grounded in the understanding that we are worthy of love and respect simply because we exist, not because we meet some arbitrary standard set by someone else. In the end, the true liberation lies in being able to let go of the exhausting need for external validation, and instead, choosing to honor and nurture our inner truth. 7. Comparing yourself to others. In today's world, where social media floods us with curated glimpses of others' lives, it becomes increasingly easy to fall into the trap of comparison. The images of seemingly perfect families, career successes, or exotic vacations can make us feel inadequate or behind in our own lives. Society often sets high standards, and it's tempting to measure our worth against the achievements of those around us. However, as we grow older and gain more life experience, we start to understand a deeper truth. Everyone's journey is uniquely their own. As we mature, the pressure to conform to external expectations begins to fade. We realize that comparison is not only unfair, but it is also ultimately unproductive. Our lives are filled with different paths, and the milestones we achieve may look very different from those of others. Where one person finds success in their career, another may find fulfillment in their personal relationships or community contributions. These varied journeys don't diminish one another. They simply reflect the richness of human experience. As we age, we learn that true contentment lies not in measuring our lives against others, but in embracing our own unique story. Something is empowering about recognizing that we are the architects of our destiny, and we should take pride in every step, even the missteps. Laziness in the comparison game allows us to focus inward, investing our energy in growth that aligns with our values and aspirations. We become less focused on external validation and more connected to our internal sense of accomplishment. It's about cherishing our path, appreciating the lessons we've learned, and acknowledging the personal growth we've achieved along the way. Every challenge we've faced, and every victory we've celebrated, has shaped us into the individuals we are today. Rather than measuring our worth by other successes, we learn to measure it by the satisfaction we derive from our journey. Ultimately, we come to understand that comparing ourselves to others only takes away from the beauty of our own life story. As we continue to grow, we embrace our rhythm, our own pace, and the realization that we are enough, just as we are. We let go of the need to compete and instead honor the incredible, irreplaceable lives we are living, one that is entirely our own. 8. Striving for excessive achievement. The relentless pursuit of constant achievement can take a significant toll on our mental, physical, and emotional well-being. In our younger years, the drive to reach higher heights, whether in career, status, or personal accolades, often propels us forward. We push ourselves to chase the next big promotion, to climb the corporate ladder, or to win that prestigious award, believing that with each accomplishment, we will finally feel satisfied. However, as time passes and we accumulate more experiences, we begin to realize that this endless race can be exhausting and often leaves us feeling unfulfilled. As we grow older, we start to value something far more profound: contentment. The realization begins to dawn that there is no inherent joy in simply chasing achievements for the sake of proving something, whether to others or even to ourselves. The idea of slowing down, of not constantly striving for the next big thing, becomes increasingly appealing. Instead of measuring success by the number of promotions or accolades, we begin to measure it by the quality of our experiences and the depth of our relationships. With age and wisdom, we learn to savor the present moment, recognizing that fulfillment doesn't always come from external markers of success. Simple joys, such as a peaceful walk in nature, a heartfelt conversation with a loved one, or the satisfaction of creating something meaningful, hold far more value. These moments remind us that the journey itself, what we experience day to day, is just as important as the destination, if not more so. Taking a step back from the constant pressure to achieve allows us to embrace a more balanced life. It's not about resigning to complacency, but rather about finding joy in the here and now, rather than placing all our worth in future accomplishments. Being lazy about the need for excessive achievement doesn't mean giving up on growth or progress. It simply means choosing to embrace the rhythm of life without the constant urgency to prove our worth. By doing so, we open ourselves up to a life filled with more meaningful connections, deeper self-awareness, and, ultimately, a sense of lasting contentment that achievement alone could never bring. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 9. Taking everything personally. In our younger years, it is almost natural to take things personally. When we face criticism, misunderstandings, or the actions of others, they often feel like direct attacks on our self-worth. A harsh word, a dismissive gesture, or an unjust judgment can strike deep, causing us to question our value, our abilities, and our place in the world. We may even carry these wounds with us, allowing them to shape how we view ourselves and our relationships. At times, it seems as though every negative remark is a reflection of who we are, leading us to take offense more readily and dwell on the hurt. As we grow older, however, we begin to understand that the actions of others often have little to do with us. People's behaviors are shaped by their own experiences, emotions, and struggles, which are often unknown to us. What may seem like a personal affront is often a projection of their inner turmoil or insecurities. We start to recognize that most of the time, others are too preoccupied with their concerns to focus on us in the way we once believed. Over time, we become more adept at detaching ourselves from the need for validation from others and stop taking their words or actions so personally. This shift comes with a profound sense of peace. As we mature, we learn to exercise emotional restraint and avoid internalizing every criticism or negative encounter. The laziness in taking offense becomes a source of liberation. It frees us from the burden of overthinking, overreacting, and unnecessary conflict. We realize that our peace of mind is far more valuable than engaging in disputes or allowing the negativity of others to affect our emotional well-being. Letting go of the tendency to take things personally allows us to embrace life with more clarity, acceptance, and tranquility. We understand that we cannot control others, but we can control how we respond to them. By choosing not to take offense, we protect our inner calm and cultivate a space where we can focus on what truly matters: our growth, our relationships, and the things that bring us joy. 10. Overloading your schedule. As we navigate through life, we often find ourselves filling every waking moment with activities, commitments, and responsibilities, convinced that the busier we are, the more accomplished we must be. But as time passes, a profound realization begins to emerge. The more we cram into our schedules, the less we can fully appreciate or enjoy any of it. The constant rush to meet deadlines, attend events, or tackle tasks can leave us feeling drained, disconnected, and ultimately unfulfilled. The passage of time brings with it a shift in priorities. As we age, we begin to place greater value on the simple yet meaningful things in a lifetime spent with loved ones, moments of quiet reflection, or engaging in hobbies that bring us a sense of joy and purpose. We realize that the days spent overburdened with obligations, trying to do it all, are not as rewarding as we once thought. Instead, the most precious moments are often the ones where we are truly present and fully engaged in the here and now. Being lazy about overloading our days isn't about avoiding responsibility or shirking tasks. It's about choosing to prioritize what truly matters. It's about recognizing that there is value in slowing down and giving ourselves the space to breathe. When we let go of the constant pressure to fill our days to the brim, we open ourselves up to the opportunity to reconnect with what is most important: our health, our relationships, and our fulfillment. In this fast-paced world, it's easy to get swept up in the whirlwind of activities, but taking a step back allows us to reassess and realign our focus. It gives us the freedom to make deliberate choices about where we invest our time and energy, ensuring that we create room for the things that truly nourish our souls. By embracing a more intentional approach to our schedules, we can find peace in knowing that we are not bound by the tyranny of a packed calendar, but instead empowered by the ability to curate a life that reflects our deepest values and desires. 11. Holding on to the past. Clinging to past mistakes, regrets, or unresolved issues can create an invisible weight that we carry with us every day. This weight doesn't just affect our emotional well-being, but can begin to affect our physical health and mental clarity. As we grow older, we start to gain a deeper understanding that the past is behind us, and no matter how much we dwell on it, we cannot change the things we've experienced or the choices we've made. Yet, it can be incredibly hard to let go. The memories, the what-ifs, the questions left unanswered, they linger, often keeping us tethered to a time that no longer serves us. Holding on to these things may feel like a form of protection, a way of keeping our old wounds visible so we don't repeat the same mistakes. But in doing so, we inadvertently keep ourselves stuck in a cycle of pain and regret. As we age and gain wisdom, we come to realize that holding on to past hurts only hinders our growth. Being lazy in our attachment to these unresolved issues creates an emotional clutter that keeps us from moving forward. Every time we revisit those old wounds or let the ghosts of past regrets haunt us, we lose precious moments of our present lives. When we finally make the conscious decision to let go of the past, we unlock the door to healing. This doesn't mean we forget what has happened or dismiss the lessons learned from those experiences. It simply means we allow ourselves the freedom to move forward. Letting go of the past clears up the emotional space we need to grow, love, and embrace the present with a lighter, more open heart. This release is not always easy. It may take time, introspection, and sometimes the courage to face painful truths. But as we gradually loosen our grip on what was, we begin to experience a sense of peace that was once out of reach. We allow ourselves to enjoy life again, without the constant shadow of past regrets looming over us. Embracing the present with a clearer, lighter heart allows us to be more open to the beauty of the world around us, to the love that's available to us, and to the endless possibilities that the future holds. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 4 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 12. Fear of change. Change is an unavoidable part of life, and though it can be unsettling, it is also essential for growth and renewal. As we age, we gain wisdom and a deeper understanding of the cyclical nature of life. We realize that change is not something to fear, but rather something to embrace. The discomfort we feel in the face of change often stems from a fear of the unknown. However, as we mature, we begin to see that change isn't an enemy. It's a natural progression that enriches our journey. With each new phase of life, we find new opportunities to evolve, learn, and experience joy in different ways. The shifts in our routines, relationships, and even our health can bring with them the chance to see things from a fresh perspective. These changes open doors to new adventures, new connections, and new ways of thinking. What once seemed like an obstacle becomes a doorway leading to self-discovery and personal transformation. The idea of being lazy in our fear of change can be a comforting thought, not as an excuse to avoid action, but as an invitation to move through life with a sense of ease and grace. By not rushing to resist what is happening around us, we allow ourselves to be present in the moment. Instead of falling into hesitation or doubt, we can choose to approach change with a spirit of curiosity and excitement. When we do this, we realize that there is more freedom in accepting change than in clinging to the past. The fear that once paralyzed us begins to dissolve as we recognize that change is often a gift disguised in challenging circumstances. Embracing change is about trusting in the process of life itself. It is an acknowledgement that each moment, no matter how it unfolds, contributes to our personal growth. By relinquishing our fears and accepting that nothing stays the same forever, we open ourselves to the beauty of what is yet to come. As we reflect on these valuable lessons about letting go, embracing imperfection, and focusing on what truly matters, it's a reminder that growth and peace often come from simplifying our lives and shifting our priorities. What have you learned so far from this message? Share one thing that resonates with you and that you'll bring into practice in your life in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring content. Thank you for watching, and may you continue to embrace life's journey with wisdom and grace.